Building a highway that stretches across the ocean between America and Russia could never happen. Could it? Well, constructing a bridge from Russia to Alaska would take a tremendous Herculean effort, and plans to do it have always been thrown out due to it being a logistical nightmare. But with China and Russia now revisiting what it could take, that bridge might just become a reality. And I doubt they've invited America to their little bridge meetings. On this episode of Built a Billion, we expose this secret mega project and uncover the details behind what makes it such an intriguing idea. 11,000 years ago, there was a landmass by the name of Beringia that connected North America and Asia, but rising sea levels ended that convenient piece of land long ago. These floods instead created a narrow body of water known as the Bering Strait. This body of water serves as the separation between two once connected continents. Sad story. The Bering Strait is only 83 kilometers wide and has a maximum depth of only 50 meters to go with two large islands directly in the middle of it. The construction of a Bering Strait crossing would be looked at to improve trade and cooperation between Russia, China, and the US by literally building bridges between tense nations. And engineers say that there's no reason why a Bering Strait crossing couldn't be built, as its construction is very feasible. The very first time someone had the urge to build this convenient bridge was in 1892, and this someone was Joseph Strauss, the world-renowned bridge engineer who would be later responsible for the Golden Gate Bridge. He nicely presented his proposal to the Russians, who immediately rejected it because Russia. Then, in 1904, a group of American railroad magnates introduced a tunnel design that the Russian Tsar Nicholas II actually approved, only for it to get rejected again by officials. It wasn't until 1958 when Chinese-American structural engineer Tungyang Lin would again suggest an 85-kilometer-long bridge across the ocean. For reference, that's 30 kilometers longer than the longest ocean crossing in the world, the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. But Lin would pass away before his plans could come to fruition, and his dream of a continent-linking bridge would die with it. Before we continue, if you love to hear about all the mega projects of the world, please subscribe to the channel and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. It'll really help the channel out. In 2007, Russia came forward with the TKM link, aka the Intercontinental Link. This is a 6,000-kilometer-long rail and oil link that would connect Russia with Alaska, and which also includes a 100-kilometer-long tunnel to run along the Bering Strait with ventilation shafts on the Diomedes Islands. The tunnel would include a high-speed railway, highway, and pipelines to go with power and fiber optic cables. If completed, this tunnel would be more than twice the length of the underwater section of the Channel Tunnel between the UK and France. And that tunnel is one of the greatest mega projects of all time, by many accounts. In 2008, Putin approved the TKM link. Then in 2014, China announced their own idea that consisted of a 10,000-kilometer-long high-speed rail line connecting northeast China to the US, which also included an undersea tunnel across the Bering Strait. This entire undertaking would cost anywhere from $65 billion to $105 billion and take 10 to 15 years to complete. Japan even came out of nowhere to offer to drill the tunnel for $60 million per kilometer. However, neither country has gotten past the conceptual portion of their plans as of today. Something tells me the last thing on Russia's mind right now is an ocean bridge, and America hasn't even announced if it's even okay with the bridge in the first place. But what would be the challenges of building a bridge or tunnel on the Bering Strait? For one, the region contains ice flows that could pose a major structural challenge for a bridge. Then the steel on the bridge would become brittle due to the environment's cold temperatures, forcing the developers to cover the whole structure in concrete. Once you get over that, there's practically no infrastructure around the area. On the Russian side, there are no railways for 3,200 kilometers, and the nearest highway is currently under construction and still 400 kilometers away. On the American side, there are no railways or highways for 1,000 kilometers, so railways would have to be built on both sides to get workers and materials to the construction site. This would dramatically increase costs and delay the project. The tunnel would mostly be used for freight, seeing as though people could still fly from the US to Asia and get there quicker. It'd be a faster and cheaper way to move freight between the two continents. As a matter of fact, boosting the economy on both sides of the tunnel, it's a chance for resource-rich nations to increase their export production while cutting costs. We're looking at an infrastructure project that would hugely benefit everyone involved, and one that could usher in a new era of international cooperation. But let's be real, these bridges and tunnels could just be an ingenious plan to invade America. Am I paranoid? Will this ever be completed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. In the meantime, click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen from the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for visiting Built a Billion.